we are discussing pandas concatenation, and now we are discussing a case 2 here. In the previous chapter we discussed about simple ways of concatenating two data frames. The case was both those data frames had similar name of columns. Now this is case 2 for pandas concatenation or pandas concat method. So first of all we will import pandas as pd. Now we will create a data frame which will be named as temperature df. So here the case is we have a data frame. So using the pd.dataframe property, we are creating a data frame. Inside pd.dataframe, the first parameter is our data. So if you don't want to get confused, so the simple first parameter is your data. This is data, and let's say the data is this dictionary that we have. So in this dictionary you can see we have three cities, Mumbai, Delhi and Bangalore, and then we have so first key is city. For the first key we have three values in a list, and similarly for second key, which is temperature, we have three temperature values in a list. So I found this example on GitHub and now I am sharing it with you. Here we are putting data like this, and since there is no index given here, right, in the dictionary there is no index given, so although the default index will be the same, but just remember we are manually putting an index parameter here. Okay, so this pd.dataframe, this particular method will be used to create a data frame object, and here we are creating a data frame object, and in the data frame object we are putting the index like this. Okay, and now when you will run it, so you will see the data like this. So this is our temperature df. Okay, the index is 0, 1 and 2. Okay, you have to be very clear with the index because the list of cities is Mumbai, Delhi and Bangalore. Okay, so what is the index assigned to Delhi here? The index assigned to Delhi is 1,
One.
right? So that is the index. Now we have another data frame, and that is, let's say we have another data frame which has information about the wind speed. Okay, so let's say when we were collecting the data, we created two teams. One team was assigned the work of noting down all the temperatures, and another team was given a task of noting down all the wind speed. Okay, so they had some list of their own cities and with them, and for those cities they noted down wind speed, and these guys they noted down temperatures. Now let's see. So now we have another data frame here, and this is called wind speed. Okay, this is the same thing that we did there. Here we only have Delhi and Mumbai, and just look at this. Here we are not writing index as 0, 1. Okay, getting it?
Yep.
We are writing the index as 1, 0 because I
Okay.
told you the index for Delhi is 1. Means it is not necessary to always assign 1 for Delhi, but it is our own kind of encoding, right? Our own serial. Let's say for Delhi we have serial 1, for Bangalore we have serial 2, and so on. So, and you can see for Bangalore we don't have data about wind speed. Okay, you can see this. So for Bangalore we don't have data about wind speed, and for Mumbai and for Delhi we have data about wind speed. So now when you will create this data frame, it will simply look like this. Okay, it has only 2 rows and as usual 2 columns. Now the thing is we have to concatenate them. Okay, so to concatenate them, what we will do, we will write pd.concat. So using this method we can join these two data frames. in concat you have to create a list, and in that list you have to put the name of your data frames. So the name of first data frame is this, and the name of second data frame is this. So that's what we are writing here. Now when you will do the concatenation, so you will see data like this. Okay, so here you can see Mumbai, Delhi, and Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai. So means these are kind of added, means because that is the primary nature of concatenation. It simply adds the two data frames. So because the first data frame has 3 rows, 0, 1 and 2, so that's why it is adding more rows here. But this is not something that we want, right? We because we have wind speed of Mumbai, we have wind speed of Delhi, don't have wind speed of Bangalore, so we will accept NaN for Bangalore, but for the other cities we don't want NaN, right? Now you have to remember, when we are doing this, let me write another parameter here that is called axis, and just focus on what value I am providing here. Okay, so when I am not providing this parameter, or I am providing this parameter and axis is equal to 0, so you can see we are getting kind of the same result. Now what does this axis 0 means? So this axis 0 means, in general terms, this means add 2 rows. Okay, or we can say act on rows, because we are doing some operation here, right? So axis is equal to 0 means act on rows, and this is something that we don't write, because by default this concatenation is done on rows. But Pandas offers us a way using which we can act on columns also. Okay, so instead of writing like this, we can write it like this also, right? So if x is equal to 0 is rows, so x is equal to 1 is what? Columns. Okay, so now you will see, instead of adding, or instead of concatenating the two data frames on rows, we have now concatenated the data frames on columns. Getting it? Right? So it is simply like this. Means, let's say this green square is one data, this green rectangle is one data frame, and this is another data frame. So axis, when we put axis is equal to 1, so it will kind of be concatenated like this. Okay, oh, sorry, when x is equal to 0, so this is the x is equal to 0 concatenation, and this is the axis is equal to 1 concatenation, right? So it will come side by side. So that's what we are seeing here. Okay, so this is our concatenation on axis and all, and here you will see for Mumbai we have this, for Delhi we have this, and because of the index we are now seeing Mumbai on index number 0 and Delhi on index number 1, although the data here was in different order. Delhi was first and Mumbai later, but here, because of the index that we provided here, concatenation is done. Now concatenation with series data. So we know that series data is one dimensional, right? In series data we just have one column and index. So here we have a series called S, and to create a data frame we write pd.data frame. To create a series we write pd.series. To create a data frame we have to provide a dictionary, right? Because dictionary has keys and values, so which will work as a table, a tabular data. And series is only one dimension, so we are providing a list here. So the Python classes that we studied in the earlier chapters, we studied dictionary, we studied list. So in list we discussed that list is ordered, mutable, right, and indexed, right. List is what? Ordered, mutable, and indexed. And in a dictionary we have what? We have keys and values. Okay. So what we are doing here is we are creating a series here, and we are saying it is event. What does this mean? This simply means we are naming the column, right? Because series is what? A singular column, right? So you have to provide name to your column. So this is our event, although you will not see it here because it is series. So you are seeing the name here, right? So this is one series. So this is humid, dry, and rain. Now we have to focus on our temperature underscore df. Okay. So you can see this temperature df has data about temperature of these three cities. Okay. And let's consider this is event data of these three cities. Okay. Means, so in Mumbai it was humid because it has index 0, then it was dry in Delhi, and then it was rainy in Bangalore. Okay. So earlier we were kind of concatenating a data frame with another data frame, right? Here we will first put these two uh, data sources, means we will put these two pandas object. One of them is a data frame, one of them is a series. So we will put them in a list. Then we will write pd.concat. Okay. So this is going to be our first parameter, and we want to where do you want to concat it? Means we want to concat it on the row part or on the column part. Where would you like to concat it?
Yeah,
Column
column.
part, right? So we will write axis is equal to 1 here. Okay. So why we are writing axis is equal to 1? We want the event column to appear on the right hand side of the temperature column. Okay. So now you will see. Getting it? So this is pandas concatenation part 2 for you. Pandas concatenation or concatenation is simply joining or adding two things or creating a chain. So we had a data frame, we had another data frame. Both these data frames have some common values. So we assigned index to those common values. Means we said that Mumbai will be 0 and Delhi will be 1 and Bangalore will be 2. But in the other data frame which had data about wind speed, we don't have Bangalore data there. So that's why we are putting it like this. And then we are getting we created a wind speed data frame here. Then we are concatenating it, and when we concatenated it, so first of all we did x is equal to 0, which was by default. So we saw that the two data frames got concatenated on the rows, but we want to concatenate them on columns. So that's why we did this. We write x is equal to 1. Now we concatenated it with the help of series data, and the series data is given like this, and we concatenated it. So we first created the series, and then we added the data frame with the series, and x is equal to 1. So this is our first discussion for today, that is pandas concatenation. Okay, I hope you have understood it.